want to track things that are going to help us be a better company. And here's the idea.
It's always so awesome to do this. Like, I know I say that every time, but I get it. I get excited about it. New year, we recorded our first episode, talked a little bit about goals. I think people wanted to hear that. It seemed like we were getting a really fast response with people watching it. Unfortunately, they had to hear me talk about my goals in the beginning of the episode, and I was like, we should have just edited that out. But
it's important, right? We all have to share our goals.
Yeah, it's exciting. And so you and I have been talking a little bit about, you guys are making a big shift this year that is, very different to the industry. Tell me a little bit about I want to start with a little bit of the backstory of how this even came to be, and then we can talk about your program.
So, well, let me start off by saying that we're changing our insurance, the way we do our insurance. We're going to this a captive insurance program. We've gotten to the size where it's a benefit for us. One, it's going to hold us accountable to be safer, but it's also going to save us money and get us more involved with our insurance company. So that's where this whole idea started. So what? In order to be in a captive, you have to get interviewed, and sometimes it's multiple interviews because they want to know who you are and what you stand for. So I'm in this interview with this captive insurance policy, and they ask me, they're like, "Well, hey, do you track your work loss injury days?" And I was like, "No, we stopped doing that because I think it's cruel to track something that accidents do happen, and to pinpoint that 180 days now starts over at one individual. I think that's just mean, cruel, unusual punishment. So we don't do that. We are proactive in kind of keeping track of how many days we can make it without it, but it's not something we really celebrate.
And so we're talking about, going into a workplace and there's like the board, and you're saying it's been this many days since there's been an injury or accident or whatever, right?
Yes, sir. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And I don't like it. I just don't think that it's a positive mindset. I don't think that people wake up every day and go, "Oh, I can't wait to get to 214 days without an injury." Right. And really what people are thinking is they're just tracking this so they can brag about how much they're saving on their work comp or whatever. I just don't think it builds. I've heard people make comments behind the scene when I worked at places that did that. So we don't want to do that. I want to track things that are going to help us be a better company. And here's the idea. Matter of fact, Brad, I'm happy to say that earlier we were going to meet and we couldn't because we had an emergency meeting here at Empire where I got our officer team together, and we decided that we're going to start this program. It's called no call, no shows. And our goal is to have 0 no call, no shows. And how long can we go without having a no call, no show? Now, this is we're trying to define what a no call, no show is. And we're trying to put a real measurement there. I believe everybody has the power to be accountable to call in if something in your life is going awry. That should be at a minimum. So we're going to track how many days we can go that if you have something in your life come up and you can't make it to work, you have to let us know. I believe that's an accountability action. We're going to measure this and we're going to celebrate it. So, we do the Monday morning meetings. Mm-hmm. And we're going to announce every week that we make it without it. And we're trying to put together this program. But today is day 1. And you have to start somewhere. And folks out there that good culture does not mean you have to tolerate complacency. Good culture is all about holding people accountable and growing together. That's good culture. That's what you do for your children. That's what you do for your loved ones. You hold each other accountable. That's good culture. That's loving on your people. And sometimes when you love on your people, you have to make tough decisions. And I believe that that's what helps us grow. So we're going to try to grow together as a family by tracking how many days we can make it that everybody shows up for work, or at least you love us enough and we love you enough to work through your adversity in life or whatever you're going through. So our goal is to track those. And I don't know, we're going to try to do some kind of fun measurement. Let's say 100 days we do something as a company, but this is something that everybody can help. You can't always help if you get in an accident. Accidents happen. We try to avoid those. But I believe by educating your people and by having a safety program and by doing Monday morning meetings, we're gonna meet those goals. We're also going to try to meet goals of let's just get everybody to work. And if you can't make it to work, let's at least have the accountability that you have to call in and let us know what's going on. Does that make sense?
It does. I really liked, yesterday when you kind of first shared this idea with me, I really liked how you were sharing that this becomes a cultural play rather than a kind of fear of punishment play. And, if someone, that person's responsible for the accident and you have 200 days on the board or whatever it is, like, it's like the only thing that could happen is they look bad. Like, that's the only thing that comes out of a program like that is they're the one that messed it up. I messed it up. Whereas, no, just calling into work is something they have a choice over. There's agency over that. And it's something everybody can rally around and build. And it's not like, you guys have a culture of safety. I've seen you guys do safety training in your Monday morning meetings. That's a culture of safety, not singling out the person that, like you said, sometimes accidents happen.
Right. And that's key. Have a cultural safety is part of our culture. We want you to be safe. We spend every single Monday, 421 in a row. That's a lot of Mondays.
That's a lot of Mondays.
Every Monday. And it's expensive and it takes time and it takes effort. But if you're really passionate about culture, you're going to do what it takes. You're going to push the envelope. That's what we're doing.
So this is cool because it's something new. It's pushing and it's innovative. It has a lot of potential to be powerful. No call, no show. Like I come from a construction industry background, and that's like one of the number one problems in any construction trade is people just don't show up for work some mornings, and it's a huge problem in getting anything done. Right? Like you're reliant on a crew to have people there. So I think that the downstream of this could be really good, but we're going to want to hear back about it. So let's set a date that we can kind of come back and you can give me a progress report because I'll be anxious to see how it goes.
I'm excited to share it too. I'm excited to brag whether we win or we lose. I want to share with you with how it goes. And I also think that it's important for us entrepreneurs to be innovative. And what did I tell you earlier today? We were talking a little bit. I said, sometimes I don't want to lose track of who we are and who I am. I want to help as many people as I can, but I also want people to know that when we're doing these videos, we're doing these snippets, that we're not trying to brag about who we are. We're trying to give other people ideas to help them with their culture and with their growing their business. This dialogue between you and I, Brad, isn't about you, and it's not about me. It's about sharing some of our ideas to maybe spark something else where somebody else will go, holy cow, that's a great idea.
I know that there's a lot of people that would love it if you could just coach them in business. And we talked about, you said, that's not for me, but what I love that you are doing is that we can do this and we can take real experiences out of a trend-setting company that is doing great things in culture, that's moving at a fast pace, and we can translate that back, and it's a lot of fun, man. So this is a great one. Like I know this is kind of a short topic, but I think we're interested. Hopefully it'll inspire some other people to try it. If you plan on trying this in your business, and I hope there's some others that hear this, they're like, I want to try this too. Drop it in the comments below. We'd love to hear how it goes, and we'll all touch base in, what do you think, like 6 weeks?
Yeah, let's go 6 or 8 weeks. And then let's also do this. If people have questions about what they're doing, or if they're trying it and they're stumbling, then put them in our comments and we'll try to address those the next time we get together. But let's let's do 8 weeks. Let's go 8 weeks, and let's
8
give
weeks.
this the time to build, because we're just learning it, folks. This is literally an idea I just came up with, and we're going to implement it. And we're going to try to see how it works, but we're going to track it. We're going to brag it every Monday. I'm going to say, all right, we've gone this many days without a no call, no show, and we're going to see how it goes. And hopefully we start planting the seed into everybody's mind that we need you here. We need you here. I also think and I try to tell our people all the time, I've lived in the double wide trailer. I always tell this joke of, or not, it's not a joke. I always tell the story of how I lived in a double wide trailer that had a shower on the north side of the trailer. And we had the heat tape on the pipes to keep it from freezing, that you'd have to plug it in the wintertime so it didn't freeze. But the greatest thing was there's a single pane window in the shower.
Mm.
And the steam would freeze to the shower, and I would always write notes to Melanie in the shower, so when she came in, she could read the notes. I'd always say, "Hey, good morning," or I'd draw a heart, or I'd write the word rose and make a stem on it. And but this is where we first lived when we first got married, and we were financially in a spot that was horrible. I don't want to say we were poor, because we were not poor. We had lots of friends, and we always had food in our belly. We never had to feel hunger pains, but we were definitely, we weren't, our bank account wasn't flush. Let's just say that. But we were having a good time. And, sometimes I look back, I think, man, those are some good days. But I also want people to know that I went to work every single day. I woke up every single morning, and I drove and I drove and I drove, and I worked and I failed. And I had things go wrong in my life, and there's bumps in the road, and the turbulence sometimes was unbearable. But to get where we were going, we had to have that happen. And I will always appreciate people that are in the double wide trailers and that are working hard and grinding it. But by not coming to work is not the answer. You need to make it part of your routine in life.
Well, thank you, Matt. Thank you for sharing all that. I always enjoy the stories. So we'll leave this one there, and guys, make sure that you're subscribed to wherever you listen to this, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook or wherever you get this, and we'll be back again very, very soon.